Hello and welcome back to another episode of my walkthrough series of the Cicada Detroit ARG. In this video, we are covering puzzle 36. Let's dive in. Alright, puzzle 36. Now we'll see that we have a poem scrolling across the back here. It's quite long and it refers back to every single puzzle that we have seen thus far, all 1 through 35. Now the key thing here is that there are a few words throughout that are highlighted. Sorry, not highlighted, but are literally in red letters. So like here is fly going by. And then there's door. And you'll see more of these as it goes through. Alright, now we're going to start that back from the top, and I'm going to read out what this poem says. A beat, a pulse, a whisper in black, a signal began, a path to track, in dust and hum where shadows flick, cicada stirred and hatched from crypt. The first was simple, breathing light, Morse code flashed through endless night. A simple trail, a feeble crying, wake up player, learn to fly. The second a lock in hex code dress, 77 secret press. The door appeared, B5 in black, words unseen unless pulled back. Runes of Vikings, puzzles carved. Ancient whisper on a shard, audio and tags that sing. Simple puzzle it did bring. Up next, no exit in sight. Led onward to numbered night. TSNTFETT. What came next stopped far too many. Little orphan Annie screamed, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Play fair grid, unfair pain. Locked with basic, not in vain. Maps on maps at Hello World. List of locations unfurled. Lily's Bar, a name of lore. Riddles carved in Detroit's core. Was it really any wonder, brought 13 YouTube asunder, when revealed a door creaked wide, element and date inside, when a puzzle let through sound, spectrograms for what it found, when the pattern did arrive, keyboard cracked and brought alive. From symbol once carved in stone, cipher spoken through the phone, what's the magic word it asked, Peggy led you on your task. Then a buzzing filled the gloom, deep sound song and SpongeBob loomed. License and open puff, whispered have you had enough. Taking on red herring's trick, RGB was painted thick, hint inside a cryptic hue, galleries for secrets drew. Blue nude led to scream and shout, and with action came no doubt. Rogue numbers and pie took lead, sum of primes for those who'd read. Found the times at fashion gold, numbers in the column told. Unicode was hidden deep, Rick did roll and rocked to sleep. MD5 hash rot was spun, Onion found a web begun. Yet another twisted key, Visionaire said failure freeze. Cosmos called from starlit dust, Trappist secrets, planets thrust. From the planet's hidden name, two mass echoes, stars aflame. A vessel cloaked, a hull unseen. Hidden lines, a cryptic dream. Signs decoded, fate has sung. You're now the cicadas young. Lockbox 2, SSH called. Dig, push, claw, tunnel, and crawl. Rooms of numbers, rooms of code, burrow deep and through the load. Find the cloud, emerge from ground, key in hand. The lost are found. If we could just hug the mole, cash us still would steal your soul. Hex code spun on background walls, Caesar's shifts and numbered calls. Brute force cracks, the name revealed. The Sibylle fate was sealed. Fool laughed and hermit moored, death flashed, illusion torn. Sun arose with hidden lore, QR codes in Stego's core. Origin marked Alice near, Lewis Carroll ciphers clear. Vigilance guarded, gates of mind, alphabet telegraph ciphers aligned. Matrix frame began to fall, folded letters secret called, deja vu the cycle spin. A white rabbit path begins. When you know the glitch is true, follow the rabbit, slip on through. The cat replays, a sign unseen, another puzzle yet to glean. Wake up, wake up, wake up, I said. These puzzles aren't real, they're all in your head. But what represents the words in red will lead you to what lies ahead. Now, this is another puzzle that will take a bit of trial and error to figure out what you're supposed to do here. But if we take all of the words that appear in red, those words are black, light, fly, door, puzzle, world, keyboard, scream, death, rabbit, cat, and red. As it turns out, one thing connecting all those words is that there are emojis that represent them. For example, I listed them out here in Notepad. For black, you have the circle, the square, the smaller square, black flag, black heart. For the light, we have both the light bulb and the flashlight. There's a fly emoji. However, depending on how old your system is, you may not have the fly emoji. For example, the emoji set on Windows 10 does not have that emoji. If you're on Windows 11, you'll be fine because they have it then, but something to watch out for. Then we have door, the door emoji, puzzle, puzzle piece, world. We have a few different looks at the globe. We have a world map, and then I forget what this one's called, but we have that as well. For keyboard, there's the computer keyboard and the musical keyboard. Scream, scream face. Death, you have both the skull and the skull and crossbones. Rabbit, you have the full animal, the face. For the cat, you have the full cat and the various cat emoji faces. And then for red, we have circle, square, heart, and then two triangles. Now, in general, you'll want to take the more basic representation of the word. So like for the light, that would be the light bulb as opposed to the flashlight. For the cat and rabbit, that is the full depiction of the animal, not just the face of it, full thing. So basic depiction of a rabbit, rabbit. For the cat, just the cat. Don't use the various cat faces. For death, that'll just be the skull. For red and black, you can eliminate the hearts, the various like up, down triangles, the flag, and that leaves you with just the circles and squares. Now there is not a small red square, so you can eliminate that from the black. We'll try to keep things consistent, but we don't really have a good way of distinguishing between like a red circle or a red square. What is like which one of those is a more basic representation? It's hard to say. It's a bit subjective. Then for the world, we'll take the depiction of the globe, so that's more basic than a map, which is a rendition of the world in a 2D plane. So we'll go with the picture of the globe, and in this case, you have three options to try. The one that contains Detroit, or rather North and South America, is the one you're going to want. So this leaves us with two possibilities, those being this set using the circles and this set using the squares. You can try both, and you'll find that the first one is the correct one. You go to cicadadetroit.com/bunch of emojis, and we get 36 part 2. Alright, now for part 2, we have a zip file here, Cicada Sonata. We can go ahead and download that. See that the name is exactly the same as what it said on the screen. We'll save that. And we'll also have a clue here. If we inspect the page, you can see that this link that we clicked on is actually an image. The image is called Not All Parts Matter When the Path is in the Past. Now let's take a look at that file we downloaded. So we have it here. We can extract it. Take a look. We see this as reconstruct me. Then we have a bunch of files called part_number.bin. These are all binary files. We need to reconstruct this. Now, it's not as simple as just taking all 30 of these and just sticking them back together. That'll not give you a valid file. And actually, we only need a few of the parts of this. Most of these are unneeded, which is garbage that we can ignore. And we had that hint, not all parts matter. So, not all these parts are important. The path is in the past. Now, if we look back at previous puzzles and look for a sequence of numbers, you may recall puzzle 8, where we had the sequence T, S, and T, F, E, T, which was 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. If we go back here, if we take parts 3, 6, 9, etc. up to 21, put those together, we'll actually get a valid file. To do that, we're going to use a tool from Pine Tools called Join Files Online. Now, easy way to do this, I'm just going to delete the parts we don't want. So parts 1 and 2 can go away, 4 and 5 can go, 7 and 8, 10 and 11, 13 and 14, 16 and 17, and then 19 and 20 can be deleted, 22 and 23 can go, and then everything after 24 can go away. So now we have just the parts we need. So we'll take these, we'll highlight them, just drag and drop here. Parts 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. We will join these pieces. It asks us to download the file. I'm going to leave off the extension actually because we don't know what this is. We'll just call this output. We'll save that. Now we need to figure out what kind of file that is. We'll go to a file type checker from checkfiletype.com. Drag and drop our output file into it. Check file type. And it says that this is MPEG audio, and it suggests that the right file type is MP3. So we'll give that a try. We'll take output, rename that to output.mp3. Let's try viewing that. Alright, I'd say that worked. We have this lovely piano music here. And this is actually an original piece written by the host XIX. And now, as we often do with audio tracks, we're going to look at the spectrogram of this. So we will open this in Audacity. We will look at the spectrogram. We'll see in the middle here, we have something interesting. So let's make this bigger. zoom in. We see a cicada, and we see a /, and it says, "Don't be crazy XIX." It's a little hard to read, but if you try changing the zoom levels a bit, you can make it a little easier to read. There, / "Don't be crazy XIX." We'll go to that URL. Don't be crazy XIX. And that takes us to part 3. Alright, and now here it says, find the author of what's written and you'll find the path that's hidden. You have a lot of text here and it just sort of fades to black at the bottom. We have a silhouette of what looks like a building here. And the way I approach this is by just taking random chunks of this text and Googling them within quotation marks to see what would match. I found a good one with this second little paragraph here. Take that whole text, type that out in quotes, search that, you get only one result. Click on that. And what we're looking at here is a rather poor quality OCR scan of a book. It's a little unwieldy to work with, but we can see that this file, or rather this book that was originally scanned in, is called History of Oakland County. But we aren't going to be able to do much with this because there's a lot of lines where the text is just sort of wrong. Like there's no way that was in the actual book this came from. That's okay because we can find the actual book. So we can find that book on the Internet Archive, History of Oakland County. And the text we're looking for here, from this ground plane and perspective given above, blah, blah, blah. We can find that here on page 31, near the bottom, from this ground plane and perspective given above, etc. And it continues on through page 32. And now we're told that we need to find what's written, rather find the author of what's written. So, we found where it's written here, but who wrote this? Well, this book is published by Samuel W. Durant. That's not who said this. This is a quote here, we'll see, that was said by Superintendent C.M. Wells. And if we go to actually, let me do that in a new tab. If we go to /CM Wells, it takes us to puzzle 37. Now, a few things I'd like to touch on here before we continue. This silhouette is not random. This book, or rather this section of the book, is talking about the Eastern Asylum for the Insane. If you Google that, you'll find the Clinton Valley Center, which has gone by several names, including the Eastern Michigan Asylum for the Insane, Clinton Valley Center, and also the Pontiac State Hospital. If you look at this postcard here, or this illustration here, we'll see this roof line with a bunch of small little towers. That lines up perfectly with what's here. So, we're definitely looking at the insane asylum as being important here. This silhouette matches the building itself. And also, back to this page, this image that has a text in it is called EAFTI, which will stand for the Eastern Asylum for the Insane. Alright, and that finishes puzzle 36. Next time, we'll pick it up with 37, which, as you will see here, has a very expensive hint because there are a lot of parts to this puzzle. It's going to be a long video. We'll get into that next time. Alright, and that's where we'll be stopping for today with puzzle 36 solved. We'll pick up with 37 next time. If you don't already know, puzzle 37 is a long one, so the next video is going to be a longer one. If there's anything you think that I missed or didn't touch on in the previous 36 puzzles, please let me know because I'll be touching on them in the next video. If that doesn't make sense, you'll see why when we get there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.